Hey everybody, welcome back to another Judgment commentary of Owarimonogatari, but today we're going to be checking out episode 2, and last time in episode 1, we began the Ougi formula arc, which is telling us the story of how Araragi and Ougi first met, and it was quite the first encounter right out of the gate, with the two of them just getting locked inside of a magical classroom born out of the latent regret, including Araragi. Yeah, they pretty much came to the conclusion that the only way they can leave this room that they're currently stuck in is if they solve a mystery that was left unsolved in the past. For you see, there was this whole dramatic thing that went down a couple years ago involving Araragi, where, you see, there was just a bunch of kids who got together and started a study session for the next math test that was coming up, and afterwards, it just seemed pretty typical. Until all of the kids who were at the study session did noticeably better than all the kids who didn't go to the study session. They got like 20 points higher on average, which to one student in particular was very suspicious. That would be Sodachi. She thought it was weird that this happened, so believed that somebody must have cheated, that they had somehow acquired the answers to the test and then prepared everybody at the study session for how to specifically deal with them. Now, if I may divert for a second here, one thing I want to address about this that I didn't is motive. If somebody did cheat by taking the questions from the test and just studying for them with everybody else, why? Like, somebody, taking the questions for the test and studying them to improve their own grade is something that happens, but why would they help everybody else? What did they have to gain by helping everybody do better on the test? That's a head scratcher. But as it happens, it was Araragi who was voted as the person who would moderate this investigation because he was the only one who scored incredibly good on the test but wasn't at the study session. He got 100 points, so they thought that he would naturally be the perfect third party for this. Did they really need somebody who scored good on the test to be the third party, though? Couldn't technically anybody have done it? I guess they just needed somebody who seemed intelligent. But long story short, the idea was that something happens during this that sets Araragi on the path to hate friendship. He had that whole thing about how friendship makes you weak, he never wanted to have friends, and apparently that ideal came from this encounter. And stopping to think about it, pretty much the only thing I can think of that might be the cause of this is that maybe, a bunch of people there are probably friends with each other. Maybe he sees them all just start to turn on each other and start pointing fingers, and then they all just, start ripping each other apart over that, and he sees that their friendship is fragile. Perhaps. I guess I'll have to see how they pan this out. And may I just say that when it comes to Ougi, there are some weird things going on. I know, so bizarre, right? But the thing is, Ougi and Araragi supposedly just met. Like, this is their first encounter. And even still, Ougi is already saying stuff about him that she shouldn't know. She supposedly just met him, and she's already talking about stuff that happened to him in spring break that he made an effort to not tell anybody. So at this point, Ougi's either a mind reader, or she just has some connection to Araragi specifically, almost like she's a part of him. If he didn't already have somebody acting as his shadow, I would say it's her. Honestly, I would say it was a very good start to an arc, even if this arc's going to be quite short in the grand scheme of things, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that we should be beginning right now. Okay, these would be the individuals at the study session, obviously. Can't say I recognize most of them. Poorly. I mean, they didn't even come up with an answer. You don't say. Theoretically. Yeah, which would mean you're not, a third party. So someone's arguing that maybe they didn't even actually have it? I mean, the person suggesting that should be the one you accuse, because I mean, if you got everybody else confirming that it happened and one person saying no, it didn't. What's with the glasses? A good place to start. Right, I mean, if you know what the study session problems are, I mean, it still doesn't help because you have to find out who's the one who presented them. Well, I mean, he didn't start to hate humans, he just started to hate friendship. But what was the conclusion? You said you didn't have one. That doesn't mean they don't have a conclusion. Oh, so you did find out who it was, but you never got them? Why is she slithering in like a freaking snake, by the way? I would know. Yeah, well, you already know that that's not what happened. Unruly garbage. I don't know. You tell me. I mean, you found despair from it, but man, I freaking love this intro. This song is easily one of the best. It's a shame I'm not going to get to hear it all that many times, but... Or will I? Nah, I don't know. Answer leading to a true and just future. That does seem to be your goal. I'm going to try to look at these lyrics as much as I can. For the same reason, you know, that we're probably not going to get to see it that many times. The clock imagery makes a lot of sense now, though. I mean, all of this is seemingly taking place within this specific classroom and all. Regret is an aspect of this. Yes, Detective Ougi. Pray we don't do it again. And then, of course, it has to have that endless loop thing going down. Oh. Just make it me and we can leave. I don't think it's that easy. That was my question. That's a worthy question. Yeah, here comes the chaos. Do they? Well, that's not easy to do either, is it? Yeah, look at this clash here. It's like a chaotic game of space pool, but played with desks and chairs. Yeah, I don't care. Just get up and go, man. They can't all be the culprit. Everybody leave at once. Hey, come on. It couldn't have been that hard. Araragi got 100 points. Yeah, it's not easy. Okay, okay. Is someone implying that maybe the teacher set this up? Debatable. Yeah, please. Order, order, order in the quarter, please. It's just gonna get worse from here. Just let it go. People cheat on one test. It's not that big of a deal. What does that have to do with this? No one has to listen to you. Exactly. Yeah, because you're smarter than her. In terms of math, anyway. Is that why you put him in charge? Because you knew he'd freak out? Single file. Okay, we shall do a vote. Exactly, I knew it. It's gonna be stupid. Everyone's gonna be pointing fingers at each other. She obviously didn't think it was you. She was just messing with you there. Because she hated you. Oh. I mean, that would be weird. She sets this all up when she was the one who cheated? I don't know about that. You can't blame yourself, man. It had nothing to do with you. Unless you cheated, but which you probably didn't. I mean, no. He didn't cheat, but... What else is new? Yeah, and she would have no reason to... Come on. Yeah, she wouldn't try to implicate herself by setting up this investigation. Wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, well, that's... They were just tired of sitting in there, you know, talking about this for 2 hours. They only pinned it on her because it's her fault that they were there. Well, welcome to the court system. Majority rule decides, one's fate. So because you have a disdain for majorities deciding justice, you therefore don't need friends. I can kind of see that. You're a great friend. Yeah, he's not even bothered by her grabbing up on him at all anymore. No, we still have to figure out who actually cheated. Don't forget that is why we're here. So in the end, you did not find the culprit, you just found who you declared to be the culprit. And we know it's not her, otherwise we wouldn't be here. Yeah, 2 people in a room can get more done than 100, right? I bet you anything she still hates you, but... Yeah, you're still torn up about it. You haven't forgotten. It might have still anyway. She seemed a little fragile about it, but... At least it wouldn't have been... Well, either way, it's not his fault. Yeah, your subconscious did this. Wouldn't be the first time. I mean, Nautico is able to bring an aberration into existence by believing in it. You do. Who, Senjigahara? I doubt that. Yeah, what way? She knows more about you than you know yourself, man. And the way she's phrasing that, it feels a little bit more suspicious. Well, at least you recognize it. They do have a lot in common. Reader? Me? Oh. Of course, I should have known! No, please elaborate. I have no idea who you're talking about. That's right. Right. And you took that seat because you subconsciously knew who it was. That's true. Yeah, she writes the questions. So you're implying that this is all just one big setup by the teacher. Yeah, you did mention taking out the trash, but All the time. Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, That's enough time. I mean, if you really haul it, you could probably get all of them, but... Finally, that's what I've been wondering. Does it benefit the teacher? Really? Like, wow, you did real good teaching him about that math. We're gonna give you some bonuses. Yeah, the one person they never suspected. And bam. Thanks a lot, my ever so kind captor. But yeah, she just solved it all for him. He didn't even get to do it. That's true. Yeah, I didn't think that had ever come up before, though. Also, you're just not gonna call her out that she knows you're a vampire. Because she did. She 100% did. You got me, but you totally did. You're saying you freed him of that. Yeah, that's all it was. Is that your teacher, the one who's supposed to be the most ethical of the bunch, caused all this. Therefore, had to make up for the sins, right? Nay. Why is there one of a different color over there? Yeah, that would be the teacher. That's what I was thinking. It is boom. What a pleb! You dirty traitor. You should be ashamed of yourself. Yeah, that's all it was. Teacher just wanted to buff up the class averages a bit. She saw an opportunity, and she took it. Fitting. It is now. Where are they? She just retired. Ah, maternity leave. Gotcha. She'll be back. I think that's for the best. Should have called her out, man. I can see why you feel guilty now, but... Oh, hey! Wouldn't you know it? Hey, Hanakawa, how you doing? Why, what's going on? Oh, whoa, whoa. Yes. That wouldn't be so strange. Are you implying at one point they were? Was it? Oh, a certain someone. This is bad timing. Don't go in. Unless you want to confirm a suspicion you had. Let's just say you two have a history. Mm-hmm. Easy to guess. Yeah, weird. Yeah, the second she leaves, she comes right back in. Wonder why that is, huh? Okay. Well. Yeah. Dang, that is a very interesting mystery, man. All of it was because Araragi knew the answer the whole time, and he buried it away into his subconscious. He knew that it was the teacher, but he couldn't say it. I guess he was hopeful that they would step forth as the adult, that they would, be the most mature about this, but they were not quite. That's interesting that the teacher was there participating in this. You would think that the teacher would probably be the one you would want to be guiding this, because unless you suspected them as being a suspect, they would be a good third party for that, but whatever, let Araragi do it instead. Of course, in the end, in hindsight, she was the one who did it, but gosh, what is going on in this outro? It's very interesting. But dang. In the end, Araragi had the answer the whole time, and then Ougi's she just brought it back out. Shoot, I was kind of on the right track. I was thinking, what would they have to gain by helping everybody else do better? And I didn't try to think outside of that because I wasn't gonna reach the teacher from that point alone, sadly, but could have helped. And judging from what they said, she didn't set out to help them cheat on the test. And really, they didn't cheat on the test at all. What it was that she saw the study topics on the blackboard and at the last minute just decided to touch up the test a little bit to try to better reflect what they were studying. Presumably because it would boost her standing as an educator. And it was the teacher being the one who did it that really messed Araragi up for the most part, because they were an adult. He saw them as an authority figure, someone he could respect and put faith in. And when he started to get suspicious of her, I assume he was just hoping that they would step forth. But then, not only did they not step forth, but when she's like, okay, screw this, everybody vote, who did it? The teacher was the first person, bam, raise her hand at Sadachi. Just straight away, no hesitation. No remorse, no shame. Yeah, that's pretty petty, man. And as Araragi said, it was clear as day that Sadachi was not the one who cheated, just for a number of reasons. She didn't have anything to really gain by helping anybody else do better on it, and she was the one who called the frickin' meeting to determine who did it, so that would be pretty stupid. She really had nothing to gain from that. She was the one who noticed that people might have cheated, and then decided to hold everybody there for 2 hours to figure out who it was. I'm sure nobody there actually thought it was her. They were just, saying it was her out of resentment. They all just wanted to go home but she was keeping them there against their will, basically, and they were salty about that. He saw a majority just haphazardly vote on somebody that they knew was innocent just for the sake of getting it over with, which translated in his mind to mean you can't really trust people all that much. If they're willing to cast aside truth for something so petty, I can kind of see where he's coming from. I mean, he had a lot of cruel realizations just hitting him all at once right there. Just a symbol of morality and ethics completely just dropping the ball in every way. It makes sense that it would have such a profound effect on him. The issue with the investigation is that the basis on which they were starting was incorrect. They were trying to think, did one of us cheat? When really, none of them cheated, and the teacher cheated for them by changing the test. And they're not gonna stop and think about that. Who would ever think that a teacher would cheat for the students to skew the test in their favor? Araragi is the only person who would ever, actually think in that direction. All in all, dang, what a twist conclusion. It was quite heavy. Like, it was so much worse than I could have expected, because it was partially what I thought it might have been, but that was only the beginning. That was merely scratching the surface of what the true problem was. But now it looks like we're going to be led into the next arc, which, as I'm seeing here, happens to be called Sodachi Riddle. So the next one's going to be Sodachi. It's just going to lead straight into it directly. Awesome. Interesting. 2 in a row we've got ones with very unique naming schemes. One after a mathematical formula, and the other just off of, a riddle. A very different kind of problem to be solved. But yeah, ain't that a coincidence that Sodachi happens to come right back into school the second that teacher decided to take a hike, to go on maternity leave. Ain't that funny? Isn't it great how fate tends to work? And Hanekawa is apparently well aware of how Sodachi feels about Araragi, because she's like, hey, bad timing for you to walk in, you might need to get lost for a second, because we don't want to scare Sodachi away. I wonder if Ougi's going to be involved with this one as well, in a direct capacity. Maybe. I mean, I'm assuming she'll make a cameo at the very minimum, but maybe she'll be a guiding presence like this one. I mean, she was the guiding presence with this arc. I mean, she was playing therapist the whole time, just leading him to the conclusion, because she knew the answer the whole time. She might as well just be his subconscious at this point. I mean, Araragi seems to care immensely about truth and what is right. And when it comes to Ougi, especially with her role as the darkness, she cares about making things proper, things being the way they're supposed to be. Seems a little similar. But still, great episode. I enjoyed it. Sorry if I might have seemed a little out of it during watching that. It's a little warm in here, so my brain cells are kind of melting, but most of my effort was spent paying attention. All the same, I liked this one a lot. It added a lot of fleshed out characterization to Araragi's hatred of the idea of having friends for that brief period until Hanekawa set him straight. And the setup and payoff nature of the 2 episodes worked out really well. I mean, that's essentially what it was. The first episode set up a lot of the stuff that was going on with the mystery, and then for the second part, Ougi just flat out just clears the air with that one. So next time will be episode 3, beginning the Sodachi Riddle arc. I don't know how many episodes that one has. Maybe I'll look it up just to see. Also 2. Okay. The formula has 2, the riddle has 2. I suppose that's fair. I won't look at what the other arcs are yet. I want to at least wait till I'm done with this one before I look at the names. But anyway, I think that's all I got for now, guys, so thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed. Subscribe to be updated on more. That'd be great. Next time we check out episode 3, should be great. We're probably going to get to learn a bit more about Sodachi, now that she's back into the light, now that she's returned to school here. Maybe we can learn a bit more about her deep-seated hatred for Araragi. I mean, we know she hates him because he is better at math than her, but that doesn't feel right. It could just be that, but who knows? We'll see what the riddle has in store. But as I said, that's it, so till we meet again, I will see you guys later!